Hello everyone, welcome to the second tutorial for the Battlegrounds plugin. In this advanced tutorial I will teach you how to set up your first zombies game. So, for this tutorial I will be reusing my basic arena setup from the previous tutorial video. So if you don't know how to set up a basic arena yet, I recommend watching the previous tutorial first. So, before we start adding stuff to our zombies game mode, we need to make sure to enable it first. And we can also disable the other game modes that are currently in our game. To do this we need to edit the game configurations. So execute the BG settings command to open the GUI. Left click your game icon. Then go to the right button which says edit game configurations. Left click this. Then go to the chest icon which says select the game modes. Left click this as well. And now you should see an overview of all available game modes that are currently in the plugin. The third icon here displays the zombies game mode. And to select this we need to left click it. And to disable the other two game modes we need to right click them both. So now both these game modes should say unselected and the zombies game mode should display selected. So now once you've closed out of that and look at your game sign, it should display the zombies game mode. If this displays the zombies game mode, then you're ready to move on to the next step. For this tutorial I'll be creating a simple arena which has all components that the zombies plugin currently has to offer and an unlockable area. So let's get started. My arena will contain two rooms, two areas. The first one will be this area around this house right here. This is going to be the starting area of the player. And then we have this house itself, which can be unlocked with doors. So we have two rooms, and these rooms need to be bundled into sections. So the first section you're going to add should be the one that the player is going to start in. In this case it's going to be the area around it here. So we need to execute the command add component. And for the parameters the ID is going to be your game ID, the arena your arena name. The component parameter should be section. And then for the arguments you need to have a distinct name and a price. So since this is our first section, we should probably call it main or something. Something that should be easy to remember. And for the price, since the first section is going to be your starting section, the price doesn't really matter because this is the section that is going to be unlocked from the start of the game. So we could just define 0 as the price. So now we can do the same thing for the house section. So rename main to house, or a name that's easy to remember. And for the price, this is basically going to be the amount of points it takes to open the doors to this section. So it should be a reasonable amount, such as 1000 points. So execute the command and now we are ready to move on to add components to these sections. Let's add a door to the unlockable section, which is this house. So first you need to grab a block and mark down the area we want to use as a door. Then we grab the wand, which with PG wand, and select the whole door. Select it all the way. And then we can use the command add component to add it to the section which can be unlocked. So game ID 1, the arena name. For component it should be door, and then the arguments, this should be the name of the section you want to add the door to. So in this case this is house. And now you should see you've added the door to section house. You can add as many doors as you like, but once this section, the house, gets unlocked, all doors will automatically be open, so keep this in mind. To add a wall weapon to one of your sections, you have to grab an item frame, and while looking at this item frame, you have to execute the add component command. The parameters should be the game ID, your arena name. For component it should be wall weapon. And for the arguments, your first argument should be the name of your section you wanted to add to. So in my case it's going to be my main section, the starting section of my game. And then the second argument should be the the name of the weapon you want to sell. So this weapon name should be in all caps, and for spaces you have to put an underscore. And then for the last argument should be the price of your wall weapon. Looks like I'm not looking at the item frame. And once you have executed the command, it will be added to your section and you should see the weapon displayed in the frame. So next up is adding a mystery box. So go ahead and grab a chest and fly over to the location where you want to add a mystery box and place down a double chest. And while looking at it, we have to execute the add component command again. And for the component, this time it's going to be mystery box. And then for the second, again, the section we want to add it to. And you also have to define a price for this mystery box, the amount of points it takes to open it. So by default in the Call of Duty games it is 950 points, so I'll do that as well. And right now I've added a mystery box to the house section. So let's just add another here for the main section. There you go. And now we have 2 mystery boxes added to the arena. So moving on, I will show you how you can add perk machines, the machines which sell perks. So first thing you need to do is place down a sign. And while looking at it, you can execute the add component command again. And for the component argument, this time it should be perk machine. And then for the next arguments, the first one should be the section is going to be in, and then the perk type. This should be in all caps, and spaces should be replaced with an underscore. Then you need to define the price, and that's all you need to do. You can execute the command, and all the information should be displayed on the sign, and players can use this machine to buy perks. So the last step for a working zombies game is you need to add some mob spawns. Now it's very important to add at least one mob spawn to your starting area. This is really important. So let's do that right now. So to add a mob spawn, we're gonna use the add component command again. And for the component parameter, this time it should be mob spawn. And for this typical spawn, you only need to define one argument, which is the section it should be added to. So add at least one to your starting section, really important. So right now, the chat says you have added a mob spawn without barricade. So this is a spawn without a barricade. Zombies are going to spawn here and they can waltz right into your arena. If you don't want that, if you want a barricade, there's another way you can add a mob spawn. So right here I have prepared a mob spawn with this barricade. If you want to add a barricade, select it all the way with your PG wand. It's recommended this barricade is 2x2. And walk over to a location where zombies should spawn. And then you can execute the exact same command. But at the end define a -B. This is important. This way you notify that you want to add a barricade. So once you've done that, you have added a mob spawn with a barricade. Now we are ready to use our zombies game mode, but when we join the game, the countdown is not starting, because we still need to configure the game mode so it accepts a starting game with only one player. For that we need to modify the configuration files of the plugin. To add the minimum amount of players, you need to head over to your plugins folder and then go to Battlegrounds to access the configuration files. Then we need to go into data, your game, and then the setup file. Open this file and you will find a small bit of configuration at the top of the file. Right now you see these two options, the maximum and minimum players. So the minimum players right here should be set to 1. And then save the file and then reload the server. If you have done this correctly, you can go into the server again, and when you join the game, it is now indeed starting the countdown. So the game is about to start, and you might notice that you start in a random spawn in which we have set up in the previous tutorial, but that is as expected, so you can just walk over to the location where you set up all your components. So the first zombies are spawning in. As you can see over there, the mystery box has been chosen. And we can open it if we have the sufficient amount of points. And the first zombies are knocking down the barricade. And we can shoot them. Let's see if we can also nade them. There you go. And I'll finish this one with a knife. And let's go to the next round. We can also repair the barricades. And let me demonstrate you that we can unlock this door. There you go. As you can see, all doors are automatically opened once you have unlocked a section. Let's try to get enough points for the wall weapon, so I can also demonstrate that. Then we'll walk a lot quicker, so you can see the zombies gradually level up and get stronger when you get to higher rounds. Let's buy this weapon. And you can also use a weapon to shoot your zombies right now. So that's how you set up your own zombies game. Thank you for watching and good luck.